Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily English Talk Podcast, your favorite place to improve your English, little by little, every single day. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jake. And we are so glad you're here with us today, whether you're on your way to work, cooking dinner, or just relaxing.
Hey, so you're looking to become a more fluent and engaging storyteller in English.
Yeah, and we've been looking at some really practical ways to help you do just that.
It seems like a lot of learners really get tripped up, when they try to share experiences or even just explain something simple.
Oh, absolutely. They often feel like they're missing the right words or maybe just not sure how to structure things clearly.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is this idea that storytelling isn't just some advanced skill for later.
No, not at all. It's actually fundamental, a really powerful way to boost your overall English.
Right. Think about it. When you're telling a story, you're actively using vocabulary.
You're trying out sentence structures, really experimenting.
And you're really trying to connect with the listener. It's active.
It's like a workout for your English, basically. Your speaking muscles.
Totally. And the great news is you don't need to be, super advanced to start.
Not at all. Even with basic English, you can learn to tell stories that people want to listen to.
So our goal today is to unpack some easy strategies. Things like basic story structure.
Useful phrases, definitely. And how to make your stories, more captivating.
Yeah. And we've got some real examples and simple exercises we can talk through.
So grab a notepad if you want, or just listen closely.
Hopefully by the end of this, you'll feel a bit more confident about sharing your own stories.
Yeah, definitely more ready.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Why is this whole storytelling thing such a powerful tool for learning English?
Right. So let's dig into that. Why focus on storytelling? It's definitely more than just repeating events, isn't it?
That's the key thing, I think. It's about active application. Instead of just, passively studying grammar rules or memorizing word lists kind of in a vacuum.
Storytelling forces you to actually use everything you know in a real context for communication.
Yeah. You're not just recalling facts. You're using language to do something specific. Share an experience, make a point.
Connect with someone. And that real-world application is just crucial. It moves you away from textbook English.
And towards more natural-sounding speech. Definitely.
Yeah, and when you're trying to make a story flow, you naturally start using connecting words, sometimes without even thinking about the grammar rules.
Exactly. It just happens. Think about how you remember something that happened to you. Your brain doesn't pull up a list of facts, right? It retrieves a sequence, actions, feelings, details.
And storytelling in English helps you kind of mirror that natural process.
Plus the emotional side of stories, that really helps things stick.
Oh, yeah. If you're talking about something funny or surprising, those words and phrases just seem to embed themselves better.
That's a great point. And personal stories, even really simple ones, they create a stronger connection to the language itself.
Because it's your experience, your view. It makes it more meaningful, more memorable.
And it's not about being perfect right away, is it?
No, absolutely not. The goal is just communication. And honestly, the more you tell stories, the more comfortable you get, the more fluent you become.
Right. So start small. Maybe just tell someone, or even just yourself, something interesting you saw today.
Doesn't have to be some huge drama.
No, just the act of building that short narrative, it helps solidify things, improves your delivery.
And if you're thinking, but what do I talk about? Don't worry, we'll get to some ideas later on.
Okay. But the main thing here is that storytelling isn't just another skill to tick off. It's like an engine for your language development.
Well put. Okay, so we see the why. It's valuable. Now, how do we actually structure a story effectively in English? Where do you even begin?
Well, the simplest way, and this comes up again and again, is that basic three-part structure.
The classic. Beginning, middle, end.
Exactly. It works. It gives you a clear framework, which is super helpful, especially when you're, still learning. Easy for you, easy for the listener.
So the beginning.
Yeah.
That's setting the stage, yeah. Who's involved, where, when.
Precisely. Keep it concise, but give the essential context. Last Tuesday I was at the supermarket. Simple. Sets the scene.
Got it. Then the middle bit, that's the main action.
That's the heart of it, yeah. This is where things happen, usually some kind of event or a problem or just something interesting that pushes the story forward.
The what happened part.
Right. So back to the supermarket. Maybe you'd say, suddenly I saw a dog wearing sunglasses pushing a tiny shopping cart.
That's definitely the interesting bit.
That's your central event, and then finally the end. how you wrap it up.
What was the outcome, the result? How did people feel? What did you learn, maybe?
Yeah, it provides closure.
Yeah.
So for our example, you could finish with, everyone just stopped and stared, and the owner just shrugged. It was the weirdest thing.
And that completes the little story arc. And the great thing about that simple structure is you could use it for almost anything, right? A quick anecdote or something more detailed.
Totally versatile. It helps you stay organized, make sure your listener can follow along easily, even if your vocab or grammar isn't perfect yet.
So don't overcomplicate it.
No, definitely not. Just focus on setting the scene clearly, describing the main event, and giving a satisfying conclusion. Clarity and flow.
Okay, structure makes sense. Now, what about the actual words? Are there specific types of words or phrases that, really level up your storytelling?
Oh, absolutely. You don't need tons of fancy words, but focusing on certain categories of words can make a big difference. Make things smoother, more engaging.
Like what, for example?
Well, one really key area is time expressions.
Yeah. Setting the timeline, that's crucial. So what kinds of phrases are useful there?
Think of them like signposts. To start maybe one time, or a few years ago, or last month, just yesterday. Orienting the listener.
Okay, that gets you grounded.
Then, as you move through the story, words like then, after that, suddenly, meanwhile, while I was doing X, they connect the different parts.
Those linking words are so important, aren't they, for that feeling of flow?
Definitely. What else? Well, strong verbs. They can really bring a story to life.
Instead of always defaulting to, go or see.
Exactly. Try more descriptive ones. Instead of I went quickly, maybe I rushed or I dashed. Instead of I looked, maybe I peered or I glanced or I spotted.
They often pack more meaning into one word. Saves you using extra adverbs sometimes, too.
Good point. Yeah. And also, don't forget emotion words.
Sharing how people felt.
Yes, it adds that layer of connection, makes it more relatable. Simple words like happy, surprised, nervous, frustrated, relieved, they really resonate.
Okay, so recapping that. Time expressions for the timeline, linking words for flow, stronger verbs for impact, and emotion words for connection.
That's a good summary. You don't need all of them all the time, but just being aware of them, trying to sprinkle them in, it makes a difference.
Makes your stories more dynamic, easier to follow, more enjoyable. Got it.
Okay, so we've got structure, we've got some useful language, but how do we actually deliver the story? Keep people interested. It's not just the words, is it?
Definitely not. How you tell it is arguably just as important. Your voice, even your body language if you're face-to-face, huge impact.
And even if you're just practicing by yourself, speaking aloud, thinking about delivery helps, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think about your tone of voice, how it changes naturally when you're excited versus when you're telling a sad story.
Your voice carries that emotion.
Exactly. And that helps the listener connect on a deeper level. If something was surprising, let your voice show that surprise. If it was funny, it's okay to chuckle.
So matching your voice to the story's feeling.
Yeah. And vary your pace, too. Maybe speak a bit faster during an exciting part.
And then slow down to build suspense or emphasize something important.
Right. Pauses are powerful, too. Gives the listener a moment to absorb, creates a bit of anticipation.
What about body language? You said even if people can't see you.
It still influences your voice. If you're physically smiling while telling a happy part, your voice will just sound warmer, more engaging. It comes through.
Interesting.
And using gestures, even small ones, can help you emphasize points and just make your delivery feel more dynamic, even if it's just for you while you practice.
So it's almost like acting it out a tiny bit.
In a way, yeah. You're trying to bring it to life for the listener, the more engaged you are in telling it.
The more engaged they'll be in hearing it. Makes sense.
So yeah, don't be afraid to use your voice expressively. Let those natural reactions show.
Okay, good tips. So, structure, words, delivery, check. Now, how do we make a story not just okay, but actually interesting, memorable? What are the secrets there?
A really big one is using vivid details. Think sensory language. What did things look like, sound like, smell like, taste, feel like?
So instead of the food was good, describe it more.
Exactly. Describe the creamy texture, the sweet smell. Details like that help the listener build a mental picture. They get more immersed.
It's that show don't tell idea again. Instead of saying I was nervous, maybe describe sweaty palms or your heart pounding.
Precisely. Show the evidence of the feeling. And related to that, explicitly share your emotions. Let the listener know how you felt during the story.
Excited, scared, relieved, whatever it was.
Yeah, sharing that emotional journey creates a much stronger connection.
Okay. What else hooks people? I find curiosity works well.
Oh, definitely. Building curiosity is key. You can hint at something unexpected coming up.
Like using phrases such as, you won't believe what happened next.
Exactly. Or, and that's when everything changed. Little hooks like that make people lean in, want to hear more.
You can also build suspense just by how you reveal information, right?
Okay.
Gradually.
Yeah, pacing the information. Maybe holding back a key detail strategically
Yeah.
keeps the listener guessing, keeps them engaged.
Makes sense.
And finally, don't be afraid to inject your personality. A bit of humor, if it fits, makes things way more memorable.
Even just small, relatable observations can work too.
Yeah. The goal is just to make the story resonate somehow, leave a little impression.
All right, so we have a pretty good toolkit now. Structure, language, delivery, engagement techniques. But like anything, practice is key, isn't it?
Essential. Absolutely
Yeah.
essential. So what are some effective ways to actually practice storytelling in English?
Well, there are lots of simple things you can do regularly. One great one is 1-minute stories.
Okay, how does that work?
Just pick a simple topic, maybe something that happened today, and try to tell a complete story about it, beginning, middle, end, in just 1 minute.
Forces you to be concise, focus on the core elements, and maybe practice speaking under a little pressure.
Exactly. Another good one is story retelling.
Retelling.
Yeah.
Like retelling something you heard or read.
Yeah. Watch a short video clip in English, or read a quick news story, then try to retell it in your own words.
Ooh, that's good for practicing vocab recall, sentence structure, summarizing.
Definitely. And story from a picture can be really fun too.
Just find a photo and make up a story about it.
Yeah. An interesting picture. Who are these people? What's happening? What's their story? Gets your creative juices flowing in English.
I like that. What about recording yourself? Is that helpful?
Incredibly helpful, even if it feels a bit weird at first. When you listen back, you really notice things.
Like where you hesitated or made mistakes, or where the story maybe dragged a bit?
Exactly. You can hear where you could be clearer or maybe more engaging. It's great for self-assessment, tracking, improvement.
Okay. Any other quick practice ideas?
What about the 5-word challenge? That sounds fun.
Oh yeah. Ask someone, or even just use an online generator to give you 5 random English words.
And then try to weave them all into a short, logical story.
Yeah. It really pushes your flexibility and creativity, makes you use vocab in new ways.
The main thing with all of these, though,
Is to actually speak aloud, right?
yes, thinking the story in your head is not the same. You need to physically form the words, the sentences. That's how you build fluency.
So talk to yourself, narrate your day, tell stories to your cat, your dog, whatever.
Doesn't matter. The more you verbalize things in English, the more natural it becomes. You'll feel more confident.
And if you can practice with other learners, share stories with them. Even better, get feedback.
It really is all about consistent effort, isn't it? And not being too worried about making mistakes.
Mistakes are guaranteed. They're just part of learning. Every single time you tell a story, you're getting better, sharpening those skills.
So, as we start to wrap this up, just remember, becoming a better storyteller in English, it's a journey. It takes time.
Absolutely. Don't get discouraged if it feels hard at first or if you make mistakes. That's totally normal.
Just keep practicing. Use some of the techniques we talked about today, and honestly, try to have fun with it, sharing your experience as a connecting with people.
Yeah. And to get you started, maybe try one of these prompts. We've got a few ideas here.
Okay, like, tell a story about a time you got lost.
Or tell a story about something funny that happened at school or work. Always good ones.
Tell a story about meeting someone new for the first time.
Ooh, or a time you were really nervous about something.
Yeah. Or maybe tell a story about a surprise. Could be a good one or a bad one.
Those are great starting points. And try telling the same story more than once.
That's a good tip. Each time, maybe add a few more details or try using some better vocabulary you learned.
Every story you tell, no matter how simple it seems, it's a step forward. It's progress on your English journey.
Absolutely. Your stories matter, so we really encourage you to get out there and start sharing them.